Well, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Lions Park, Simcoe, Ontario. It's the 2023 Chiefs Challenge. Blair Setford, Joe Todd with you this morning. And Joe, Hill United Chiefs right back out on the field, facing the crosstown rivals, the Oswego Redmond. We did the coin toss. I didn't know who was further away.
Maybe 1 kilometer difference?
Well, I don't know. I let Daryl Anderson call the coin toss. He called heads. It was tails. Chiefs are the home team. Redmond will come to the plate. Leading off will be Ryan Salt playing left field for the Oswego Redmond. He'll be followed by Joey Dockstader. Mitch Green, the 3 spot. Mike Root bats 4. Dylan Johnson, 5. Travis Nevin is the designated player. He'll hit 6. Josh Martin, 7. Zach Green bats 8. Riley Sear, catcher, in the 9 spot for the Oswego Redmond. Defensively, for the Hill United Chiefs, Scott Patterson's in left field. Alan Pecker is in center. Alan Pecker's in right field. Bradley Ezekle's in center. Around the horn, Nick Shales is at third base. Shane Bones at short. Second base, Campbell Anoka playing second base. That's interesting. He's mostly an outfielder. Jonathan Lynch, also a former outfielder, is at first base. Pitching today, Daniel Chapman, throwing to Josh McGovern. And again, Blair Setford, Joe Todd. Softball Premier TV, Luciano Lafrano, our ace producer, and Carol Dureste on our action camera. And we're underway. First pitch, swinging strike from Daniel Chapman.
8:59, first pitch. The umpires for this morning's game, Steve Gallagher from Cobourg, Ontario. At first base, Ed Armand from Kitchener. And at third base, Kevin Wallace from Shipman, Illinois.
A very good umpire crew. And swing and a miss. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night for Ryan Salt leading things off for the Oswego Redmond. Chapman, one of the harder throwers in the game, Joe, from Auckland, New Zealand, was with the Black Sox. There you see the umpiring crew. Disappointing campaign for the Black Sox at the WCA World Cup. Did not make the final playoff round, and that in itself, just the fact that they're outside the top 6, a major disappointment for the Black Sox.
They will be making some huge changes in that program.
Well, they already did. New coach, Thomas McKee, appointed a couple of weeks back, and he's had some success with the junior ranks, and now he'll look to translate his legendary status as a player and try and restore the Black Sox to some of their glory. Called strike 3. Down goes Joey Dockstader. 2 batters, 2 strikeouts for Daniel Chapman. That'll bring up the shortstop, Mitch Green. Chapman's at his best, Joe, when his motion is nice and smooth. There are times when it seems like he gets a little bit out of his rhythm. He gets maybe pushing too far off the board with the hop. Where he's had the success, he seems to be nice and smooth and under control coming off the board. He's got lots of natural velocity, natural movement as well.
Good long legs on him, and just as you said, nice and smooth, good fluid motion.
The Chiefs were 3-1 winners last night, upsetting the Niagara Stompers. Swing and a miss there by Green. We had 2 real good ball games here on the main diamond at Lions Park in Simcoe, Ontario. The 2023 Chiefs Challenge. You're just getting in with us. We started a minute early. Blair Setford, Joe Todd on softball. Rise ball up and out of the zone from Daniel Chapman.
Good setup by catcher Josh McGovern to see how far Mitch Green was going after that pitch.
Little two-hopper into the glove of Jonathan Lynch. He'll step on the bag for the 3rd out of the inning. 3 up, 3 down go the Redmond in the top of the 1st. Hill United Chiefs coming to the plate in the bottom half. Stay with us here on Softball Premier TV. We're going to be with you all day. Get settled in and enjoy some world-class fastball. Joe leading things off for the Hill United Chiefs. Bradley Ezekiel, center fielder. Shane Boland. Nick Shales in the 3 spot. Josh McGovern bats 4. Alan Pecker 5. Scott Patterson 6. Jonathan Lynch 7. Campbell Anoka 8. And Nick White gets into the game in right field.
Nick White, a Maritimer.
Yes, he is indeed. So Campbell Anoka and Nick White, 8-9 in the order. Get on to, there's plenty of games today. Called strike from Caleb Keeshe defensively for the Oswegan Redmond. Ryan Saltson left. Center field is Dylan Johnson. Right field, Josh Martin. And then around the horn at third base, Zach Green. Mitch Green's at short. Second base, Joey Doxtater. First, it's Mike Root. Behind the plate, Riley Sear. And pitching, Caleb Keeshe. Rise ball just misses on the inside corner. Steve Gallagher goes just inside. There's a little off-speed dipper from Caleb Keeshe
Nice
in the
pitch.
outside corner.
Great pitch to just set up his sequencing later on.
Well, the sun is trying to make an appearance here in Simcoe. Ezekiel fouls this one out of play down in behind us. This was for rain much of the day, Joe, but it is overcast. Like I said, the sun's trying to peek through the clouds right now. It's humid, though. He's very sticky here today.
Right now, it's just perfect. A little bit.
Hopper out to Green at short. He'll come across and throw out Bradley Ezekiel.
A lot of off-speed stuff by Caleb Keeshe there to Brad Ezekiel.
Well, and and that's not a bad strategy whatsoever. You know that this team is going to be able to hit the hard stuff. They see the top pitching all the time. Mix the speeds, change speeds up, try and keep them off balance. In for a strike. I thought Hoimo Mata did a really good job last night. He gave up the 1 run on 3 hits over 4 innings. Left the game. It was tied 1-1 in that game last night. The Chiefs would win 3-1 over the Niagara Stompers. They pushed across 2 against Martin Gonzalez later in the game. But Hoimo Mata, as hard as he can throw, was just changing speeds last night, worked in the changeup a fair bit, and I thought kept the Chiefs off balance.
We saw that pretty well all night with Adam Folkard, too.
I talked to Adam this morning because we both thought that he threw a very good game. He looked healthy for the first time. Adam wasn't happy with his spots. He acknowledged that the ball was moving a little bit, and he said it's early and still working on a lot of things. But he said he felt better on day 2 this weekend than he did last weekend.
Still early for him.
Well, he's now been here for about 10 days, probably just about used to the time zone change. You've been down under, have you not? It's a long flight from Australia.
No, I have not.
You have not? Okay. I thought you were in New Zealand one time.
No.
No? Okay.
Still on the bucket list.
Yes. Upstairs, ball 4 for Shane Boland. Saw Shane and Bradley this morning at breakfast. I joke with those guys. No surprise you're here early. It's already 9:30 in Newfoundland. So Nick Shales to the plate. Nick is busier than the one-arm paper hanger here this week. He's helping out with IT and tech support and playing and helping with some of the logistics here. Nick just lives down the road in Waterford, in Ontario now, and he's a busy guy.
Got a lot on the go, so give him full credit to come out of that 3-hole.
Big swing and a miss and a look skyward from Nick Shales. You and I both remarked last night that his timing just is off just a bit, and it's enough to, a swing and a miss there. That's normally might be a base hit for Nick Shales. This one is lifted up, deep left field, and gone. Nick Shales gets all of that one. 2-run home run, And maybe the timing is back, Joe Todd, as sends this one out of the park.
Good power hit there by Nick Shales, putting on the first 2 runs of the game.
Well, you'll see the swing here. Gets under it with that launch trajectory, and a big, long fly ball sails over the left center field fence.
Caleb just got a little too much of the plate there with that ball.
Well, the previous pitch, the rise ball, was up. This one was right down middle. So Josh McGovern to the plate. Josh had a good night last night. Couple of walks, aboard a couple of times, scored a run. It's a busy slate of games here this weekend. The 4 games last night, in addition to the Hill United game. The night game was a very good one, too. You were at that one with Peter Labardius as the Bear Creek Express upended the top-ranked New York Gremlins 3-1. As good a game as I've ever seen Riley Mannion throw last night, the 4 innings that he worked for the Express.
And great composure for the team that he was facing, putting himself into this position so early in the year. I think it was a test that Paul McCart has to be very pleased with.
Absolutely. Justin Schofield come on and worked 3 innings of excellent relief. And we saw the debut of Jack Besgrove for the New York Gremlins. He came on in relief of Andrew Kirkpatrick and threw what I thought were 3 exceptional innings.
Great pitcher. The future for Australia.
So Alan Pecker to the plate with 2 down after the strikeout by Josh McGovern. Alan Pecker launched one over the right field fence last night. Tries to bunt his way on here, and he can do that. If he gets it down, just about assured to be a base hit.
Great wheels. I love it when he hits either a double or a triple, the way he can pick up the inside corner of the bag, make his turn so close.
Chop foul at the plate, that wide open stance that he's got. It's almost like he's getting a running start out of the box.
Remember last year Luciano was going to schedule the race between Yusef Davis and Alan Pecker. I don't know if that ever happened or not.
I don't know if it did either. The Chiefs a bit of an early exit from the IC World Tournament, and then J&B made it all the way to the final 3. I'd like to throw Teo Migliavacca into that mix, too. So 1-2 to Pecker. Chopper on the ground. Kishik's going to have to hurry. He gets it over to first in time. 2-run run by Nick Shales has the Chiefs out in front 2-0 through 1 complete. Stay with us here on Softball Premier. Blair Setford, Joe Todd with you on a Saturday morning from the Chiefs Challenge.
Dreamcatcher, inch by inch, we'll fight to make the lives of First Nations people in this community, this province, and on this continent better. I know we have a long way to go, but I'm proud to say as long as our people have a need, Dreamcatcher will be there for them.
– Fabulous shot of Niagara Falls, the Horseshoe Falls. Luciano Lafrano out there yesterday. You see the Maid of the Mist up with his drone camera. You'll see some drone coverage throughout the day here today.
A few of the Argentinian boys also made it down there. Juan Cruzara and Hemumata, I believe, made the trip down to Niagara Falls.
If you were in the area, you'd have never been there. I mean, it is just something to behold. People like us who grew up in the region, you just take it for granted.
Every summer, let's go for Niagara Falls.
Yeah, it is truly a sight to see. A little bit of a delay here. Not sure what's up, what we're waiting for. Steve Gallagher went to go get something fixed, I guess, because I don't see him out on the field. No. Eddie's here.
Eddie picked up his mask.
Yeah, so our home plate umpire is missing. We'll take the opportunity to catch you up on the tournament. So last night, a pair of 3-1 ball games. Hill United over the Niagara Stompers, and then the Bear Creek Express. And now Shane Boland is going to pretend that he's pitching. Eddie Otterman was going to step in and see if he could catch it with the mask. On Diamond 2 last night, a real good game. The Oswego Redmond 2-1 winners over the Elmira Expos. And then Toronto Batmen, a bit of a runaway, 15-0 winners over the Niagara Snappers last night in the late game. Elmira's back on the diamond right now, facing the Stompers. We will keep an eye on that one for you as we bring you the Hill United Chiefs and the Oswego Redmond. All right, we're back. Mike Root makes his way to the plate. Mike Root, Dylan Johnson, Travis Nevin, 4-5-6 for the Oswego Redmond this morning. Joe, how quickly time passes. I can remember doing the U18, U19, it was midget. In that particular championship.
Well, and they live in the same area, I believe, or they did in their childhood days.
Yeah, back up in near Owen Sound.
Yep.
Mike took a couple of years off from the game, got back into it. Fouls this one into the screen, and he's always had lots of natural talent. Pitches, hits in the middle of the lineup.
Big, tall boy, so he's got a good target over at first base.
He was a member of one of those junior Team Canada teams that went down to Paraná in Argentina, I want to say 2012. Or 2012. So 2-2. Inside Hopper, Shane Boland ranges over, makes the grab. Good range there by Shane. We saw that last night too, 2-3 times. He went over to near second base and tracked down a couple of balls.
Good, solid infielder. Great range, as you had just mentioned, but had a nice high bounce right up for him.
The field has been really true. It's probably hard out there, I would imagine, even with the rain that we got. Just the Stone Dust Diamond, they've been doing the dragging and everything so far. Bunt attempt by Dylan Johnson. Called a strike. See Josh McGovern go down to the one knee, too, particularly when he gets to 2 strikes with no runners on. That seems to be all the rage now in the Major League
I don't like
catchers, too. You're a purist, I know.
Yes.
I don't know what the advantage is. I'll have to ask Josh when I see him.
Well, the only thing I might think about would be just to give your knee a rest and extend it out. But it's only for a length of period that you don't see a base runner, so.
Well, I got to wonder if maybe the catcher's field allows them just to get a little bit lower, too, maybe. You can see it here, down on one knee. For me, though, the danger in doing that is he's down on his right leg. It exposes the thigh because the protective equipment is now down parallel to the ground. It takes away the benefit of the protective equipment.
And to me, he's going to be slower to bounce, too.
Well, certainly didn't impact anybody there. Dylan Johnson down on strikes. Third of the game for Daniel Chapman. Travis Nevin step in, designated player. Travis from Nova Scotia, one of the many East Coast products here this week. And lots of good ball players. Nova Scotia, Newfoundland, and Labrador, of course. See, they've got a good league going in the Fredericton area, too. Jeremy Tracy been involved with that and some others. And I see the scores getting posted up on Facebook every week from that league. And hopefully we'll see some New Brunswick players making their way into the ISC tournament circuit sometime soon, too.
Be great to see. Good to see that the whole country is growing in the game.
Called a strike up on the outside corner. Looked like he took something off that one.
Would love to see one of those maritime teams make it to our ISU World Tournament.
Well, consider that an open invitation, folks, out on the East Coast. Get a team together, give Joe Todd and myself a call, and we'll work on some arrangements. St. John, the last Atlantic Canada team, 2018-2019. This one is poked out to the gap. That's going to split the defense all the way to the fence. Pecker with the cannon. It was kind of aimed at nobody and bounced all the way to third base. A stand-up double for Travis Nevin. So defensively, again, folks, for if you're just tuning in, defensively, it's Scott Patterson out left. Out is in right field. Bradley Ezekiel, normally the center fielder, but he is the designated player today for the Chiefs, at least this morning.
Nevin finding the gap there and just good follow with the swing.
Just off the plate, ball one to Josh Martin, right fielder. Guess we have to call Josh Martin a veteran now, don't we? For the longest time, he was the youngster.
Good eye at the plate by Josh.
Upstairs, 3-0 to Josh.
Green light, Blair.
I think so. What do you got to lose?
Yep. Especially down a couple runs.
Had a notion to go after it, but ball four. So a pair of runners aboard for Zach Green, third baseman for Oswego Redmond. And it'd be interesting to see if they can give the big boys, the Crosstown Hill United Chiefs, a bit of a run here. Chiefs up 2-0 on that Nick Shales home run, if you just joined. There's a strike in that outside corner.
Zach and Mitch are brothers. Playing third and short on the left side of the infield for Oswego Redmond.
Now Chapman has found the range in that outside corner to the lefties right now. Go out just a little further. Swing and a miss, strike three. Fourth strikeout of the game, second of the inning for Daniel Chapman. Works out of that little mini jam. We'll go to the home half of the second. Chiefs set in front, 2-0 over the Redmond.
Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at monthill.ca. We can't wait to see you soon.
Well, Joe, the forecast was for rain today, and it may yet get some, but you see 18 degrees right now, 78% chance of rain, but it's a lovely day right now. The sun is trying to peek through the clouds, and hopefully this will stick around. Yeah.
It stays that way.
We got a lot of fastball to be played here today. Kishieg opens up Scott Patterson with a called strike. If you watch the WBSC World Cup, you saw Scott Patterson star for Australia at the top of their order. They went on to win the World Cup. Their first since 2009. Jack Besgrove, watched him last night. And Joe, you had a prime view back here last night. What'd you think in his debut?
I thought he was excellent. His ball seemed to explode for me. As it got closer to the batter, it just seemed to even pick up speed. And his movement on the ball was phenomenal.
Talked to John Hill this morning from the Hill United Chiefs. Of course, John, one of the assistant coaches with Team Canada, and he just, just marveled at, 19 years old, all the poise in the world, and 3-4 good pitches with good movement, as you said. He's
Great future ahead of him.
Yeah, he is going to be a handful.
Australia has their main man for a few years.
Well, they have been blessed. You go back to Andrew Kirkpatrick, followed very closely by Adam Falkert, who's been the main man for the last almost 15 years, since 2009. Right back up the middle by Patterson. That's his game. Aboard with a base hit. Jonathan Lynch will come to the plate. And they've got a couple other youngsters too that look good. Leighton Reed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Lynch last night flied out his first trip, and then a couple of strikeouts. Just couldn't get it on track. Drops down a bunt here. It's a good one. He flies. They just get him by half a step at first base. That's a good play there by Zach Green. Sacrifice bunt for Jonathan Lynch. Joe, you love your sacrifice bunts early in the game. Hill United playing small ball, and that's one of the differences between Jeff Ellsworth as the head coach and John Hill in the past and others who just let this Chiefs team, for the most part, swing away. Jeff elects to play a little bit more small ball.
Extremely well laid out bunt, but early in this game, you're only up a couple of runs, so add to that total when you can. You're down in the bottom part of the order. Advance that runner. Lots of ways to score from second base.
Campbell Anoka to the dish. Campbell had a bit of a rough night last night too, Joe, but they got the job done. You know what you're going to get from the Brad Ezekals to Shane Bolins. I think it's going to be the bottom part of the order here, where guys are going to earn their way into the lineup. Now, they're missing Tony Gonzalez at second base and Piplo Lopez from first base, as this is fouled at the plate. Both of those guys are at the Central American games that are going on in Salvador with Mexico and I believe the Dominican Republic for Lopez.
A lot of power, both of those guys.
Well, Tony has evolved his game over the last couple of years. One of the best infielders in the game.
Caleb really working that outside corner to the right-handed batter and just not getting the calls.
Yeah, he's just off. I am perfectly aligned with the left side batter's box, the inside line, and that's where those pitches are. This one bites the plate and hammered out to left field over the head of the left fielder. Patterson comes in to score easily, and a stand-up double. That just got over the head of Ryan Salt. He took one step back, and it was already over his head. That's how hard that ball was hit by Campbell Anoka. So the youngster, Nick White, to the plate. Nova Scotia put together a very good provincial team for the Canada Games last year. Nick White among several players from that team who are making their way on the circuit. David Watson spent the last couple of weekends with the Elmira Expos. Not here this weekend. Not sure if he had a prior commitment, but he has thrown the ball very well for the Expos here this week. Brody Fraser with the Alvinston Aces has pitched, has hit, has done very well. And there are some really good players in Nova Scotia. And for the teams that aren't here, there's some talent around. You got to go look for it a little bit, but there is talented players in Nova Scotia that can make an impact here on the IC tournament circuit.
Great league team.
Well, and that was the smart thing they did with that Canada Games team. They put that entire team into that Shooters Bar and Grill League down in Nova Scotia, the top league there. And they played as a unit all summer. They saw Schofield, some of the other senior men's pitchers, and they got that advantage as White smashes the first one foul down the first base side. I like that aggressive approach there at the plate. You see it go ripping right after it.
Good turn there by the hands. Tried to jam him, and the strength of Nick White wanted to pull that ball through, but pulled it a little too much.
And no bigger champion of these young Nova Scotia players than Schofield, guys like Randy Frame, Chris Hopewell, who are talking these players up, trying to get them the exposure. He chases after one there for strike two.
Nice drop ball there by Caleb.
And drills this one foul again. If I'm John Hill, I don't know where to go because he's yanked two foul, one to John's right and one to his left.
John just backed up 3 steps.
Yeah, probably pretty wisely there, and maybe another couple of steps to come.
Michael Root also saying, let him hit it somewhere else.
To Hopper out to second base. Joey Dockstader throws out White. Moves the runner up. Campbell Anoka goes to second to third. So a productive at bat, at least, for Nick White. Back to the top of the shop, Bradley Yezical. Bradley looking to get untracked. And he'll do it as he knocks one out to left, and Campbell Anoka will trot in. Make it 4-0 now for the Hill United Chiefs.
Nice swing there by Brad Essicle. Just took the first pitch offered by Caleb Keeshing and drove in the 4th run of the game for the Hill United Chiefs.
Call the ball to Shane Boland. And folks, I know we're struggling with the buffering. Stay with us. We're working on the internet here. We're hoping to get a different router into the park in time for one of the games coming up. We apologize for some of the technical difficulties. We're doing what we can with what we have here at the park. Bradley Essicle on the move there in a hit and run.
Hit and run. Executed last night, too.
Nothing through 2 complete between the Expos and Niagara Stompers. Want to thank Kevin Quip for that update. Hammer just fouled down the left side. That was fair on the first bounce and then curled around the bag.
Good movement by home plate umpire Steve Gallagher to get out, get down that line, make the correct call.
can see on that replay, just on the foul side of the bag. And this one drilled out to left. One hop out there to Salt. Bradley Ezekiel was on the move. This throw comes into nobody in particular, and Ezekiel trying to dodge the umpire. Steve Gallagher hustling down the line for a play at third, and a little too close to the line, maybe. It was a hit and run, and Ezekiel was on the move, so he easily goes coast to coast. Shane Boland up to second on the plays. Like I said, the throw kind of came into nobody in particular.
4 hits given up by Caleb Keeshing this inning.
You give him the double on that?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So this will be the one and only defensive conference. For the inning. It's only the second. This is the bottom of the second. Inside to Shales from Kishik. Two runners aboard, and the Chiefs threatening to really salt this one early, Joe.
Well, it's going to be.
This one out to right field, ranges in just out of play is the right fielder, Josh Martin. He'll put that one away. Hill United score 2 more in the bottom of the second inning. They lead 4-0. We'll go to top of the third, Oswego and Redmond coming back to the plate.
Dreamcatcher, inch by inch, we'll fight to make the lives of First Nations people in this community, this province, and on this continent better. I know we have a long way to go, but I'm proud to say as long as our people have a need, Dreamcatcher will be there for them.
Joey, want to acknowledge Dreamcatcher, Brian Porter, for their sponsorship on the broadcast program, and also Pete Hill and the Mont Hill Golf Course facility, including Big Pete's Steakhouse. Gentlemen, thanks very much for your sponsorship, and they'll be with us all season. They do a great job.
Great addition to our sponsorship program.
Well, they do a great job with a number of the teams. Help out the Redmond, of course, the Hill United Chiefs, Brian Porter with the Niagara Stompers, helping the Niagara Snappers a little bit. So lots of support, and we sincerely appreciate everything they do. Without the sponsorship, we don't get the opportunity to bring you this great game around the world. Thank you, everybody, joining us across North America and globally. Australia, New Zealand, over in Europe, down in South America.
I'm sure we'll have a few people watching from Chachia this year with Michael Hole-Braddock joining the ISC with his team.
Yeah, well, he's been around, of course, for a few years, joining the Hill United Chiefs this year, made his debut for the Chiefs in the summertime at least. He pitched, of course, for the Chiefs back in January at the Winter Challenge. Swing and a miss. Riley Sear at the plate. 9 batter for the Redmond. Then back to the top of the shop. Ryan Salt, Joey Doxtater, 9-1-2. Little change up. You can almost see that one coming a little bit from Chapman. It's almost like he tried to throw a peel drop, as they kind of call it in some quarters. He pulled the arm back.
Just hate seeing that leadoff walk into the number 9 guy.
Well, I think the good news is Riley Sear is likely not a stolen base threat.
True.
Top of the shop. Swings underneath the rise ball. Ryan Salt.
Second walk that Chapman had given up. Had one back in the second inning.
Well, and that's something that Daniel Chapman will be looking to iron out over the course of the tournament season as we get on the road to ISC WT 23. When he's at his best, high strikeout total, low walks. And then when Daniel struggles, it's because he's given up the walks. 1 ball, 2 strikes here to Ryan Salt.
Daniel's really not comfortable on the mound. His footing is not coming off and released properly.
Well, we talked about that last week too, and you remember he's coming off back surgery last year. Didn't play up here in North America because he had that surgery, and he was doing some flexing and just couldn't get comfortable. I didn't think last week in Mitchell. So this is only the second outing up here in North America. And remember, they throw off the mat in New Zealand. So this is different for the Kiwi pitchers that come up and throw. They're digging those holes in the trenches as they do on the diamonds every week. Upstairs, ball 4, so 2 straight walks. And you just saw Daniel Chapman look back at the divot that he's making. And yeah, Joe, he just doesn't look comfortable this inning. So 2 aboard. Joey Doxtater now to the plate. The 2 batter for the Oswegan Redmond. Riley Sear up at second base. Ryan Salt's at first. That pit Mitch is down low, so suddenly some difficulty finding the range here for Daniel Chapman.
That's 7 or 8 balls in a row.
There's a strike. Snap throw down to second base. Riley Sear back in time. Boy, Nick Shales really plays off the line when he plays third base. He is got to be 15 feet off the line. He's in probably 12 feet from the bag, too. Fouls that one off. Boy, that pitch was almost in the other batter's box.
The only thing when we talk about Shales coming off that line, you just wouldn't know if he's anticipating the tendencies of the batter. And
called strike 3, down on strikes.
knows that Doxtater goes that way and off the line.
Well, we watched that play on the bunt that Nick Shales made last night. It was a really good bunt. He picked it up barehanded, and I would have sworn he was going to first, but he turned and spun and threw a strike to third base to get a force out. And talking with Terry Bader, former national team coach for Canada, this one's up and in, and Sear is DOA at third base as McGovern got a generous hop off the fence.
Real tight screen.
It's only 8 or 9 feet from the back of the catcher to the screen, and it took a favorable members bounce for Josh McGovern. And Riley Sear, who it's fair to say doesn't run all that well, he was out by 12 feet at third base. This one fouled off. But just to finish the story on Nick Shales, talking to Terry Bader, former national team coach for Canada, there's only 1 or 2 guys in the game that make that play. I mean, he had to do a full 180 to turn, and he launched a strike, too. I mean, he's off balance, but that throw was right on the money.
Well anticipated play in his head before. If that situation arises, I'm going to do this.
Yeah, you knew he was absolutely thinking about it.
Yeah.
So Mitch Green at the plate. Chases outside, strike three. The Redmond squander a bit of an opportunity here in the top of the third inning. Hill United up 4-0, coming back to the plate, bottom of the third, coming up. Simcoe, Ontario, Lions Park, 2023 Hill United Chiefs Challenge. Blair Setford, Joe Todd on Softball Premier TV. With the local folks from Simcoe, parts close by, making their way to Lions Park.
Hushweek and Redmond need a good clean inning. 1, 2, 3.
Well, first pitch swinging. This one is popped up to short right. And second base, Joey Dockstader will range back. A couple of steps onto the grass, haul that one in. One pitch, one out. That is about as efficient as you can get.
Yes.
2 more pitches, he can tie the record. Alan Pecker to the plate. Inside. Pecker's medalist at the U23 World Cup. It's hard to believe he's been in the game at the ISC since 2018. I think he must have only been about 17 or 18 years. 17 that first season with the Cubs, was he not?
Yes. Very talented.
Yeah, he's got all the talent in the world. Just has to put it all together consistently, game in, game out. 2019, I thought he was outstanding. One of the best players at the IC World Tournament that year. Outstanding defense, slashed the ball, speed, power. Great arm, too. Defense.
He was a leadoff batter back then, wasn't he?
With the Cubs, yeah, the year they went to the final.
Mm-hmm.
Made ISC All-World that year. I'm sure there's more to come from Alan Pecker, too. The dilemma, I think, for guys like Pecker is, do you want to be the small ball guy and put the ball down high on base, or do you want to be the power hitter? And this one clips him, and he'll make his way to first. Kishig will come over and just let Alan know nothing intentional or on purpose about that.
Kishig loves working the inside part of the plate.
He does, and he caught Matty Waugh one up and in last year. Matty wore a shiner the rest of the weekend. Unhappy about it, too. Scott Batterson to the plate, turns, squares, and bunts it foul. So small ball tendencies again from the Chiefs here. Bottom of the third inning, 1 down. gets this one down. Keyshake turns, spins, throws to first. Pecker goes coast to coast. There's the speed, Joe. Never broke stride. Coming around second base, goes all the way to third. And a decent throw from Mike Root across the diamond. Pecker beats it.
Just
watch Pecker now. You see him all the way around second, and you just didn't see the end of the play there, but slides into third ahead of the throw. The runners on third base in scoring position.
he had his mind made up about 10 feet before second base that he was heading over to third.
And you talked about this in his first plate appearance, how he cuts the corners on the bag. You don't see him take the big wide loop. He takes a very direct path.
Very smooth with his running.
Lynch to the plate. Pitch outside. Jonathan, we talked about this last night, and you'll see it. Great camera shot here with that closed stance, that right foot actually pointed inwards. The hands are real close to the body, and he is looking to hit everything as he just did that way to left field. And as short as the screen here is Joe Pecker is a threat to score on a pass ball wild pitch. Again, fouled off on the left side.
Blair, do you know the significance of the PGAM on the sleeve of Hill United?
Peter J. Montour is who Big Pete's restaurant is
Oh.
named after.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. And the KRH on the other side, of course, is Ken Hill. Two business partners behind Grand River Enterprises. Montour is Brandon Montour, defenseman for the Florida Panthers, that family.
Yes. They were the founding fathers of the Dreamcatcher Foundation, I believe.
Yes, that is correct, sir. Chop foul in the infield. That is now being stewarded by Brian Porter. And that's one of the commercials that you're seeing in our rotation here this week. And talked with Brian a couple of months back about potential sponsorship, and I said, why don't we talk about all the good works that the Dreamcatcher Foundation is doing. Happy to feature that ad. Upstairs from Jonathan Lynch. Jonathan's one of those guys who likes to call his own balls and strikes up there. Nope. Does that. Wayne Laulu, too.
Steve Gallagher's getting paid. Jonathan Lynch isn't.
Upstairs to Lynch. And I was under the impression that Wayne Laulu was not going to be up in North America this season, but he was here last night. Unmistakable chatter from Wayne
Yes.
on the bench of the Gremlins. High hopper in the infield. And easy toss to first base. Joey Dockstader handles that one. So, Joe, there was the clean inning you talked about. Score stays 4-0 in favor of the Hill United Chiefs. We'll go to the top of the fourth. This week in Redmond coming back to the plate. Joe, defensive change for the Hill United Chiefs, and it's like it's old home week here. Jason Sanford in to catch. Josh McGovern will go take a break. Jason Sanford, one of the OGs from the East Coast. And Joe, I've always thought when Adam Falkard was at his best, it was when Jason Sanford was catching him all those years with the Chiefs when they were dominant from 2013 through 2015.
They were a great tandem. They always worked great together. Always thought at the same level, and
yeah, they picked up 4 world championships in a 5-year span. This one lifted way up in left field. Patterson will call for that and gather it in for the first out of the inning. Sandy retired a couple of years back and called back up to active duty here this year. Bruno Matroni's not here this week. He was around in Mitchell last week at the ISC Canada East qualifier. Mitchell, just not too far down the road from here. Bunt attempt. So Sanford sharing the catching duties this weekend with Josh McGovern. That's a nice well to tap when you can go get somebody like Jason Sanford to come back in.
shows the depth and the strength of that lineup.
Well, we'll see if Chapman can get back into the rhythm. Had a bit of a wobble there last inning with a couple of guys aboard.
Sun's starting to generate some heat.
Yes. Almost got the mask on, almost got the camera with that pitch. Rattled our home plate camera. Called strike 3. Down goes Dylan Johnson. Second out of the inning.
Chapman's done a great job out on the mound. 7 strikeouts to this point, 2 walks, just giving up the 1 hit to the double to Travis Nevin back in the second inning. Travis Nevin now back at the plate now for his second time.
Joe scoreless through 4 complete. Elmira Expos, Niagara Stompers. Kyle Linton for the Stompers. Kirk Santala for the Expos. The Stompers outfield apparently has stolen a couple of home runs. Otherwise, it would be 3-0 for the Expos. 2
Wow.
caught balls going over the fence. So thanks to Kevin Quipp for that update. Elmira Expos putting up a fight. You would expect nothing less.
No.
These are the 9 o'clock games here at the Hill United Chiefs Challenge. Coming up at 11, Toronto Batman, Bear Creek Express, New York Gremlins, and Niagara Snappers will be on the second field. We'll bring you the Batman and Bear Creek here on Supple Premier TV. Peter Labardius will be back. He'll step in for that 11 o'clock game. At 1, just 1 game. Nope, sorry, it is 2. Stompers and Batman. So Batman will go back-to-back at 11 and 1. Stompers and Batman. Also this week in Redmond and the Gremlins. There's a base on balls there to Travis Nevin. Josh Martin coming to the plate with a runner aboard. Couple big ones tonight. Joe, Bear Creek will take on the Chiefs at 6 p.m. and then at 8, the Gremlins and the Stompers. We'll look for A, good weather, And B, good crowds for both of those ones.
Should be both entertaining games. Great culmination to the pool play.
It's clay, as you termed it last night. Swing and a miss by Josh Martin. 2 pools of 4, but if you're in Pool A, you play all 4 teams in Pool B, and vice versa. And the 4 teams, I guess it'll be, with the cumulative best records will go into the 2 semifinal games tomorrow morning. The winners of those, of course, will play in the championship game. That squirts out of the glove of Sanford, but he'll toss down to first for the final out of the inning. Just the lone walk for the Redmond in the top of the 4th. We'll go to the home half. Hill United Chiefs hang on to that 4-0 lead. Campbell Anoka, Nick White, Brad Ezekiel, 8-9-1 for the Hill United Chiefs, set to face Caleb Keeshake here. Bottom of the 4th inning, Chiefs out in front, 4-0. First pitch out to the shortstop. It's Green. Cross for the out.
Now coming into the batter's box for Hill United.
And this is where Caleb Keeshake, Joe's got to bear down and try and get 3 good outs here. At the very least, have the top of the shop come up with nobody on board.
He has to be at his best right now to shut down this big, powerful Hill United Chiefs lineup. Caleb with just 1 strikeout to this point.
Well, full credit to the Chiefs, Joe. They've earned every run. It hasn't like it's been errors or mistakes by the Redmond. It has been hits and full value for it. White chases one out of the zone for strike 2. Well, he certainly gets around on the ball, doesn't he?
Yes, he turns on it quickly.
John Hill is over by the fence now, talking with the Oswego dugout, but
Might be safer over there.
well, he's pulled them into the fence. He's pulled them down the line. You don't want to have your back turned when
No.
White's up if you're down the first base side. Can't make contact there, down on strikes. Joe, you talked about Caleb Keeshake only had the 1 strikeout. Now he's got 2. And that base is empty scenario indeed as Bradley Ezekiel comes to the plate. misses downstairs. Two good ball games for an early Saturday morning. Scoreless between Niagara Stompers and Elmira Expos at last look, last report. That was through 4. We're in the bottom of the 4th here. Hill United out in front 4-0.
Just missing.
Inside. Yeah, just misses. And nibbling away at that inside corner, just can't quite find the range. 3-1 to Bradley Yezikal. And this one is just punched out to left center. Bradley Yezikal will take the easy jog down to first. And just like that, Bradley Yezikal 2 for 3 on the day. And a bit of a slow start for Brad last night. He's on it here this morning.
Yes, come up big there for his second of the game. Caleb tried to work that inside portion of the plate twice and unable to get that strike call, but then Caleb made a mistake and got too much of the plate. Brad took it out to left field.
Yeah, 3-1 pitch, and that was kind of middle. So Shane Boland to the dish, smoked a double his last trip. Although I think that's still generous scoring on your part. I thought that was a single. He got second on the throw, but you give him a double, and that's fine. You're the harsh scorer, usually. And that one sails inside and clips Shane on the way by. I don't know that he did a whole lot to get out of the way of it. I think it might have just brushed his jersey. But it's funny, Joe, how quickly the fortunes turn. Caleb gets 2 quick guys. Nick Shales already has a 2-run home run in the game with a couple of runners aboard. And this felt a bit of a raindrop, too. So
Not a word we say at a ballpark.
there's a called strike in that inside corner. That's the pitch he's been trying to get. That goes off the glove, and Bradley Yezikal will move up 60 feet, as will Shane Boland. So runners at second and third for Nick Shales. Opportunity to extend this lead for the Chiefs. Right back up the middle. That'll plate 2. Shales pick up a couple more RBIs, and he's rounding into form. We talked about Nick just seemed just off of it last night. And he's got it here today.
Nice powerful swing there.
Yeah, right through it.
Hands.
Right through it. So Jason Sanford, for his first plate appearance, came on to catch last inning for Josh McGovern.
Shales with 4 of the 6 RBIs this game.
Yeah, it's a decent morning.
Yeah, not a bad.
He might be a keeper. In for a strike. And 1-1. Sanford flies out to the shortstop. Chiefs push across 2 more. They'll lead 6-0 into the top of the 5th.
Dreamcatcher, inch by inch, we'll fight to make the lives of First Nations people in this community, this province, and on this continent better. I know we have a long way to go, but I'm proud to say as long as our people have a need, Dreamcatcher will be there for them.
Back here for the top of the 5th inning, 6-0 for the Hill United Chiefs. Just get that manual scoreboard caught up, Joe, out in right field. They finally put the second run on board for the Chiefs in the 6th. So we've got everybody now in agreement that it is indeed 6-0 for Hill United. Robert Bomberry into pinch hit. Robert's been a mainstay on this Redmond team for years. Joe, Dude, as he is known. If you just say Dude, everybody in the park knows who you're talking about. He's hitting for Zach Green.
Sanford got a foul tip there.
Yeah, I bet he didn't miss those.
Yeah.
There's that manual scoreboard that they're operating out in right field. A throwback, Joe, as they manually put up the number. Electronic scoreboard here, not an operation, but they were operating that last night, and I just thought that looked great. Kind of harkens back to Fenway Park or Wrigley Field, where they had the people manually putting up the numbers.
Bomberry's a good stick. We'll see if he matches up well with Chapman.
Well, he lays off that inside drop ball. I want to give a little shout out to the Simcoe Braves organization. They've got the minor league ball players here acting as the bat boys for the weekend. Bomberry waves over the top of that one. Down on strikes. Bring up Riley Sear. Worked a walk. Got caught third on a pass ball. Took a member's bounce off the screen, and Josh McGovern threw out his counterpart Riley Sear by about 12 feet. Little change up there from Chapman in for a strike.
Nice pitch.
And 0-2 on Riley Sear. Ryan Salt, top of the shop for the Redmond, awaits on deck.
Change up, nice drop ball.
Well, that one is laced. That's a fair ball down the inside corner. That's going to get cut off nicely by Nick White. Very quickly over to cut that off. But a good bit of hitting there by Riley Sear. And we'll see if there's pinch runner. They're just going to wait for the courtesy runner. Salt strikeout on a walk here this morning, and now we will get a pinch runner. Sear will make his way to the dugout, and number 22. I'll look that up for you. Mikey Willis from Saskatchewan.
Oh.
Into run. First pitch swinging. That is pop foul out of play. Willis, a newcomer to the ISC tournament circuit. He'll get some chances to play for the Redmond over the course of the summer. They'll make their way to Denmark, Wisconsin for the 77th ISC World Tournament hosted by Circle Tap. Look forward to our return to Denmark and Circle Tap. Just an absolutely fantastic venue for the ISC World Tournament.
You never made the trip. Come on out this year.
Yeah, this is one of the great places to watch the game. The main diamond at the Circle Tap Bar and Grill, right outside the door. There's that changeup, waves at it. Salt down on strikes, 2 down.
Nice clean 10 strikeouts for Chapman.
Joey Dockstader to the dish. He hasn't really let anybody else play. It's been mostly strikeouts.
Yes. 10 of the 15 outs.
Yeah, well, there was the caught stealing there. Ground ball to short. Fly out to left. Ground ball to Jonathan Lynch. Not a lot else. It skips off the glove of Sanford. It was through the other batter's box, and Willis up to second base. Coming up on Softball Premier TV, Toronto Batman and Bear Creek Express, an all-Ontario matchup.
Should be a good one.
I think so. As international as the Hill United Chiefs and the New York Gremlins are, by and large, the Express and certainly Toronto, all Ontario, the Express, all Canada, pretty much. Their international player, David Galino, otherwise engaged. I'm not sure if he's at that Central American tournament or not.
Probably.
I might have thought, but I'm not 100% sure if he's there. Little nubber in the infield. Chapman comes, gets it, tops the glove, and that's the difference in making it to first base. I think if he just comes up and throws that without the glove tap, he gets him, because Dockstader just saved by half a step, and that might have been enough.
So important just to do the transfer of that ball so cleanly.
So runners on the corners. Mitch Green to the plate. Sweekin trying to break that goose egg. There's a called strike outside corner. And chases the drop ball down. So 0-2 on Mitch Green.
Nice pitch by Chapman.
And that misses. So from 0-2 to 2-2. And full count as Green has worked his way back into this at bat.
Trying to let Daniel Chapman build up some endurance for the year. Pitching in the 5th inning here.
Lifted up, short left. Pat will settle under that for the 3rd out. Redmond will strand 2 in the top of the 5th. Hill United with 1 to end this one early. Hello. New pitcher for the Oswegan Redmond. There you see Travis Nevin bobbing and weaving in and out of your frame. Travis from Nova Scotia. And there's East Coast products. Hard thrower. Kind of similar in that regard to Caleb Keishig, but just a different look for the Redmond as we go into bottom of the 5th inning. Hill United need 1 for the run rule here.
Yes. First time I've seen Travis Nevin, I believe.
There you see. 2s are wild for the Chiefs. 2 in the 1st, 2 in the 2nd, 2 in the 4th.
Nevin been unable to make it to Mitchell last weekend, so this is his debut with the Redmond.
He's thrown 3 straight rise balls here in warm-up, Joe, so I would expect we're going to see a fair number of rise balls. Looked like he had some good pace. I've heard some good things about Travis over the years. My first look at him as well. He'll face Alan Pecker, Scott Patterson, and Jonathan Lynch. And there's a strike in the outside corner. Good opener from Travis Nevin. Mike Root moves over to first base. No, he didn't. He stayed at first base. I'm sorry. Somehow had it in my mind that he was pitching. It's early.
Coffee.
Yep. Pecker lifts this one up. It's going to be playable over by the fence. Mike Root will haul that in for the first out of the inning. Took a while for it to come down.
Yes. Very high. Stay away from those clouds.
Scott Patterson. Scott single scored and then a sacrifice bunt. It was a good sacrifice bunt too. I know you were cheering out loud for that.
Yes. Well executed. And great defense as well.
Well, goes out to having a mascot. At least it didn't get the camera.
Yes. Stay away from that.
Yeah. And comes in with a high drop. Called a strike. Yeah, the only thing we don't have here, Joe, is a right air gun. There's a lot of guys, especially last night, who really would have been in with an 8 handle, I'm pretty sure.
I have my old one in the car.
Oh, yeah? We have to get that out a little bit later then. We'll see how accurate it is. But between Riley Mannion, Justin Schofield, Cheese was throwing hard for a couple of innings, And then Bestgrove especially just came in guns a-blazing. And good morning to Paul McCart and Scott Perry, the opposing coaches for Bear Creek and the Batmen. Sean Cleary starting for Bear Creek. Tyler Randerson gets the ball for Toronto Batman. Good one coming up. This one punch foul down the right side, out of play.
Oh, just about got some kids.
Well, that's not a good thing. Just misses.
Mikey Willis has gone into catch for us weekend.
Straight up the elevator shaft and just in behind the pitching circle, Green. Sorry, Mitch Green hauled that in. Top of the 6, Stompers. 2-run home run, a walk, and then a home run. Don't know who hit it, but Ryan French known to pitch for the Stompers. So 2-0 through 6. They'll look to close out the Elmira Expos. Thanks to Kevin Quip for that one. Jonathan Lynch to the plate. And a little excuse me, check swing, but that's going to get hauled in with Joey Dockstader just out onto the grass. Chiefs, 1, 2, 3. Down they go in the bottom of the 5th inning. We'll go to the top of the 6th. The Redmond coming back to the plate, trailing 6-0.
Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at monthill.ca. We can't wait to see you soon.
What was the change?
81.
Starting up the 6th inning for the Redmond.
Mike Root. Wade Kawagashig will be coming on for Dylan Johnson. He'll pinch hit in the 2 spot this inning. And then Travis Nevin. So 4-5-6 to face Daniel Chapman. And Joe, you called it. They're stretching him out a little bit. rise ball, low rise, foul back to the screen.
Daniel Chapman gave up 2 hits, 2 of the 3s allowed so far last inning. So we'll see if he can extend his durability.
It's a high drop this time, so he's done the low rise and the high drop.
Took something off that pitch too, just a little bit of a change of speed anyway.
Over the top, Mike Root down on strikes. So Wade Kawagashig to the plate. And that one misses upstairs. Wade originally was in the starting lineup, but I think he ran into some traffic difficulties or something getting here. They had to make a last-minute change, get Travis Nevin in as the DP.
Kawagashig a regular on the Owen Sound Selects under-23 team.
A lot of good ball players from the First Nations up that way. Caleb Kishig leading the way. This one is laced. That's a good swing inside out, but just foul down the left side. It's going to send Scott Patterson chasing. I wonder if Scott Patterson checked in with James Todhunter to see if it was okay to take 99 with the Hill United Chiefs before he came over. James Todhunter wore 99 for several years when he was up with the Chiefs. I remember once, I want to say 2014 at the IC World Tournament in Kitchener, a couple of the fans giving him grief about wearing 999, which of course is sacrilege in Canada because it's Wayne Gretzky's number. Not that James Todhunter would necessarily know about that, but getting grief from the crowd about wearing 99, he promptly hit the ball about 300 feet, circled the bases pretty slowly.
After that, it was okay.
After that, indeed, it was fine for James Todhunter to wear number 99. There's that high drop again, but it was the changeup too. So that's his go here. Just missed inside. Misses for ball 4. And no, he does not, because he went around on the swing, says our third base umpire, Kevin Wallace, who finally has something to do over there. He's seen a couple of foul balls, but nothing really close. Steve Gallagher, Ed Otterman, and Kevin Wallace. The blue crew out there, in white today, actually. Joe, I thought it was great that they were in red. It's a tradition in the U.S. military for red on Fridays, and that was in honor of Leon Watson, who umpired several years in the IC World Tournament, passed away sadly about 6 years ago. There's a new Leon Watson Award that's being created for Umpire of the Year. That's going to be selected by the Blue Crew at the IC World Tournament. We'll start presenting that this year. Look forward to seeing that for the first time. But that was a tribute last night. If you were with us last night, you saw the umpires in red. That's why it was in honor of Leon Watson, who served in the U.S. military as well.
Very fitting.
Somebody tell Shane
12
Bowen to
strikeouts
move.
so far.
12 strikeouts. I was just about to say, somebody tell Shane Bowen to move. He's blocking the shot on the plate. Down the left side, lots of room. Nick Shales gets chased. Scott Patterson comes in, but can't track that down. Some action in the Hill United Chiefs bullpen. You might have seen that down that way too. Looks like Michael Holler-Braddock, is up, warming up. He came in last night through the 7th for the Chiefs. Took him a little bit to get used to it. admitted to a couple of nerves first thing this morning when we saw him in the breakfast area at the hotel. But
just flew in yesterday, too.
yeah, got
6.5 hours on a
yesterday from Czechia. The national team was out playing in Denmark. They had a home-and-home series with Denmark over in Europe. And then Michael hopped on a plane, came over here, and then pitched last night for the Chiefs. Long-time dream of his to be able to play with the Chiefs. Short and shortstop as Shane Boland will reel that one in. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. Hill United Chiefs chasing that elusive 7th run.
Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at monthill.ca. We can't wait to see you soon. Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club with our beautiful 27-hole golf course.
Well, Joe Todd, it's the final. Niagara Stompers 2, Elmira Expos. No score. The Expos seem to specialize in losing these tight games this year. They've been on a lot of them. Won a couple, but also been on the short end of a couple, too.
growing pains.
Well, they are competitive, as they always are. Stompers get into the winning column after dropping a 3-1 decision last night to the Hill United Chiefs. Hill United seemingly well in hand here, 6-0 lead over the crosstown rivals, the Oswego Redmond. We'll see if we can find a pen that works here. Cam Schiller with the home run, 3-batter for Niagara Stompers. Thanks to Kevin Quipp for tracking that one down. Schiller, the MVP of the IC Canada East Qualifier Tournament last week, and continues his hot hitting. Downstairs to Campbell Anoka leading things off.
Also important for Expos to keep those runs against down.
Well, they are now 0-2. They're going to be hard-pressed to make it into the Final Four. Lost 2-1 last night and 2-0. So they've only given up 4 in 2 games, but only scored 1.
Yes.
That makes it tough.
Not going to win a lot of games.
No. Just misses downstairs. 8-9-1, Campbell Anoka, Nick White, and Brad Ezekiel scheduled batters.
Travis Nevin, good, quick worker.
There's a called strike. Michael Hollobraddock continues to throw in the bullpen for the Chiefs. They got about 6-7 guys in play right now down the left side. Bradley Ezekiel on the field. He's the batter in the hole. There's a chopper in the infield. Zach Green tries to Mitch Green rather, tried to backhand it. Well, I don't think he was ever going to get Campbell Anoka, who runs well. So Nick White to the plate.
White 0 for 2 so far. Grounded out to second base in second inning and struck out in the fourth.
Well, this one is drilled deep center field, and that'll be a walk-off as Nick White pushes across to the Hill United Chiefs will walk it off in style. Nick White will make it 8-0, and that should be the ball game. Final score, Hill United Chiefs 8. They have 9 hits on the morning for the Oswegan Redmond. 2 hits, 3 hits, no runs. Daniel Chapman with the win. Caleb Kishig take the loss. Travis Nevin works an inning and a bit in relief. Stay with us here on Softball Premier TV. We've got a good one coming up next. Toronto Batman taking on the Bear Creek